The Court of Appeal in Abuja on Friday stopped the execution of its own judgment, which faulted the rendition of Kanu from Kenya to Nigeria and also set aside the terrorism charges against him. Justice Haruna Sanami, in a ruling, upheld the federal government's application and ordered that the execution of the judgment be put on hold. The federal government had applied that the execution of the judgment be suspended pending the solution of its appeal lodged at the Supreme Court. Justice Tsunami, in the brief ruling, held that the counter affidavit filed against the federal government's application by Kanu's legal team was misleading. Are we saying that these guys have made a U-turn? Because that's just what I'm saying here. And if you remember vividly, again, concerning Governor of Ebonyi State, they have reversed the case also. And some people said these guys are up to something. So are they trying to bow to the pressure of the federal government or Malami? Or what is happening here? Well, federal government has succeeded to cripple the judiciary by all means. They have brought in their preferred judge who will do their biddings. Nothing lasts forever. Malami and co have but a limited time to go on with all this their nonsense. How many months does Buhari and Malami have left? Just allow them to dance their last dance of shame. At least he will learn how to be humble in prison when he comes out. Does that, when you are trying to, when the person has warned you several times and you are trying to intimidate and you are trying to intimidate other judges, is that a good judgment? Are you saying that some people honestly, well, no problem, but unfortunately you are not God. You don't even know that lawyer pass lawyer for book. You and your government policy will fasten its actualization of Biafra. You won't even understand because you are not even educated. This is a locomotive fool talking. Humble, you said. How many Fulani killers will you tell to humble? I pity for blind person like you. Terrorists almost taking the whole country and speaking nonsense. You are there speaking nonsense. Who is just fighting for his people? 101 Boko Haram that were released one day without minding national security. Where are they now? That's a good question. Only one person said national security, but you release a whole lot of more than 100 Boko Haram. Nobody heard about it, and that's it. Because you think you are in power. Of course, we know that they still want to continue to hold him, but one good thing is that the same people who are going back and forth, they have already set him free. It is Malami and Buhari that are holding him back. Next president will never release Kanu unless he is a terrorist like Kanu. Really? With Tinubu and Atiku another 4 or 8 years, God forbid. Well, one thing is that this is extreme wickedness. You think you are dealing with him. Make una think twice. God is only using him to expose how evil and foolish Nigeria is. A country that said that only the court will decide. Yet, on countless occasions, the court will decide, but out of impunity, Buhari would show that he is bigger than the law. This can only be seen in the jungles. Reason Nnamdi Kanu keep calling Nigeria a zoo country, but yet your like have failed to see how your destiny is being ruined because of your personal hatred for Nnamdi Kanu. And the truth, if something is true, accept it no matter where it's coming from. No matter whose us is God. Make a law and break the law is a sign of animal kingdom. Nigeria judiciary na scam. Now today una know. Na real scam. What of the repentant Boko Haram? You make me laugh. Boko Haram. The first judgment is setting a bad precedent. It means criminals can jump bail at will only to run back and claim rights. Remember, you can also be victims of crime. How do you feel releasing such criminals without penalty for crime committed? This case has been on since 2015. If federal government has evidence to prosecute him, why has it taken them this long? The same question I have been asking. Why has it taken them so long? You see that a lot of people try to jump into what they don't really understand. They just jump into it. And I've said it, those who are even suffering, some people are even pitying them that they are suffering. You are just pitying them for nothing, because they don't even see it as being suffering. They don't see it as that, as if they are suffering. They are not seeing it from that angle. So it will be very, very difficult for them to even see things from a different perspective. Someone studied your behaviors and called a name, yet your efforts to deal with the person, you keep reflecting exactly what the person said you are. Nnamdi Kanu called you animal, yet you keep proving him right. You have made Nigeria your personal property. Lawlessness is a sign of animal kingdom. Justice like this one should better be addressed as injustice. This makes the judiciary looks funny and ridiculous. Very, very ridiculous. Malami, okay. Oh, Jankara judgment. The country's judicial system is in a serious mess. With this, we wouldn't be surprised of the kind of judgments to expect at the Supreme Court. The same appeal court is forgetting so easily the case between ASU and federal government, where ASU appealed to stay of execution and they were ordered to obey the court ruling first before complaint. So, can we actually say we have hope in the judiciary, or only a peculiar is it only peculiar to government of APC? You have said it, so people should also ask sincere questions before condemning government. Is this man agitation a breach of the law, and was his route to achieve his intended objective right? The fact is government is saddled with responsibility of maintenance of law and order. We do everything lawfully possible to achieve that aim. And when they say ASU should obey the law before they make other complaints, why is it that the same government cannot do the same? And why is it that Boko Haram are just being released without any questioning? But when it comes to other people, you people begin to quote law. I know one day Kanu Wizzy left this custody yesterday. Honestly, this is really, really terrible. It is. Shame on useless appeal courts of Nigeria. Shame on the entire useless APC-led government. They are all cowards. Do the judiciary and law enforcement agents know that they are being used by the executive to destroy Nigeria? Let us reflect on the causes of the Nigerian civil war and avoid its reoccurrence. Government magic don't start. Oh, this is not the first time and won't be the last time. That means that there are still remnants of foolishness among Nigerians. Yes, that is what a Fulani man can do. Those who say Nigeria courts are for the highest bidders must have been vindicated by this pronouncement from appeal court. Was it not the same appeal court that insisted that the judgment of the lower court must be obeyed and ASU must first resume before their appeal court could be heard? What has changed and what is making them speak from both sides of their mouth? Now, so we see them. So, guys, let's hear your opinion and have your take on this.